Hey guys, Scale from here, back with another sports video about sports, because that's what we do on this channel. Anyways, we're talking about Portugal, because they're the biggest team in this group, Group F, the final group. We are finally on the final group there, and it's been a long day, to say the least, but Portugal, again, the biggest name, I'm pretty sure the biggest name on the planet is
man.
Cristiano.
No, Pepe.
Pepe, yeah, everyone knows that guy is.
No, obviously it's Cristiano Ronaldo, sorry.
No, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, if you don't know who the hell Ronaldo is, then
You should not even watch the sport.
I feel sorry for you. Like, unless you were. Yeah, I'm not gonna get to that. Cristiano Ronaldo, biggest name here, and he will carry his team. He has carried his team on his back, but they have a lot of talent now. He really doesn't have to.
As much as he used to.
Yeah. They have very young guys like Renato Sanchez. He's 18 years old.
Definitely a young guy you want to look out for.
Had an incredible season at Benfica and was recently bought by Bayern Munich back in May. So he's a big player there. Even guys like William Carvalho is a very young, talented defensive midfielder who had a bit of an injury crisis, but is back and he's ready to go. Got Andre Gomez, who is linked with many teams. A lot of teams looking at him. Guys like Danilo and Adrian Silva, who had a very good season for Sporting. Guys like Nani, who have always been a selfish player, self-centered player, but has now decided, he's ready to move on and ready to mature and take on the team, take on a role of the team. Again, same as Quaresma, always been a self-centered, selfish player, but has taken on a role now at Portugal and helped Besiktas win this year. Do a very good job there in the Turkish league. But anyways, you look at the squad, and again, just like a lot of teams in this tournament, their biggest weakness, well, it's not really much of a weakness, but their aging defense.
Kind of is a weakness.
Which is, I guess, yeah, it's a weakness. You have Pepe, Jose Fonte, Bruno Alves, Ricardo Carvalho, all over 30 years old. Ricardo Carvalho almost 40, 38 years old. There, Pepe 33, Bruno Alves is up there as well. Was he 34? He's up there.
Yep.
Oh my God, I'm really good at this guessing age thing. Jose Fonte, I know he's up there as well.
32.
32. So a very aging defensive core, which could be their downfall in this tournament, to say the least. But a very talented midfield and forward.
Especially with the way they're going to play, because they have very good fullbacks, and both Cedric and Rafael Guerreiro, who just signed for Dortmund recently, which is awesome. Cedric, another player I rate very highly. They're going to see the thing about Portugal. They have a lot of talent on the wings. Mm-hmm. They're gonna push the right flank with Cedric and Quaresma, the left flank with Guerreiro and Adrian Silva. They're just gonna power through them. Ronaldo is strike partnership with Nani, which is actually very interesting to say the least. I've always rated Portugal as a very good team, but one of the biggest problems is the fact that Ronaldo. They have Ronaldo. It's not that Ronaldo's not a good player, but he's a superstar. Around Madrid, they built the team around him, and the thing with Portugal, they put too much pressure on Ronaldo, but now Ronaldo's taken less of a part in the team, and the team has much more balance now. They have much more chemistry. They look like a Portugal team. What Portugal, the talent that they have should be. They have a really extremely talented midfield, and you mentioned William Carvalho. Moutinho, which is one of my favorite players, great player.
Excellent player.
And they're going to look good. I think coming into this Euros, they're going to be one of the better teams. It's one of their biggest issues is, like I said, the defense. If they want to come up through the wings, they want to counter, they want to push. The defense has to be able to make sure that they can stop the counterattack, which obviously Carvalho is going to do in the defensive midfield, see if he can break up those plays. But once they come around, it's up to Repetitio, which I think is a great goalie. It's unfortunate that he's still in Portugal because he doesn't get the notoriety that he deserves because I think he's a tremendous goalie coming to the tournament. Very good goalie for Portugal. Even if they didn't have him, they have another great goalie, and what's his name again? Anthony Lopez. I was going to say Andres Lopez. It's Anthony Lopez, who had a really great season at Lyon. 2 seasons in a row, very successful seasons. He's looked very, very good for them. Great goalie, and he's going to be a guy who can make some crucial saves for Portugal if need be. And another thing we should mention, Portugal, with the talent they have developing right now, look like in the near future one of the angriest teams, one of the most, not angriest teams, sorry, that's a part of my wording, but one of the most intimidating teams coming up. Once Ronaldo retires, which I don't think he's going to retire for a while, let's say Nani, Quaresma step down, the amount of talent that Portugal has coming up is just scary. And, they're going to be one of the best teams in the world in a few years if that talent reaches its potential and blossoms the way that they should.
Absolutely, for sure. Again, biggest X factor. It's hard to ignore Cristiano Ronaldo when it comes to X factor. There's a few X factors on the team if you really wanted to get into the nitty gritty. Like I said, William Carvalho is going to be very good in the midfield. He's going to, as he mentioned, and be intercepting and whatnot. But again, Cristiano Ronaldo, he's going to be scoring the goals, guys. It's not a surprise there. No surprise that Ronaldo is scoring all the goals. He doesn't need to because they're very talented wingers, as we've alluded to, but Ronaldo will be scoring the goals. And this team will depend very much on the goaltender, as their aging defense could be a problem later on in the tournament. But for the group, I think they're easily favorites in this group. I don't know.
Another X factor, just to mention him, Ricardo Quaresma. He's going to be big for Portugal. He's going to score some big goals. He's an excellent free kick taker. He can get by a very strong defense. He can literally dribble past like 2-3 guys. He's definitely going to be a big player. Obviously,
there's a lot of players in Portugal who can easily dribble past like 2-3 guys, though.
No, but Quaresma, he has close to Ronaldo in dribble-like abilities, and I'd say for the Euros, I'm going to be one of the best players. I'm going to say Moutinho and Ronaldo are going to be the biggest players for Portugal coming up, and Patricio.
Yeah, absolutely. Austria's next, and I feel that Austria have a team with very good players, but quantity isn't there when it comes to depth. A very respectable starting 11, again, like some of the teams we've already mentioned in this tournament, but when it comes down to it, their depth may cost them very deep in this when they make a deep run, go for a deep run in this tournament. But in the group, their team looks very solid. You have a very talented plays left. He's left back who plays defensive midfielder for Austria, and he plays at Bayern. David Alaba, very exciting.
Easily one of the most complete players in the world. Not just in the Euros in the world. He's going to be one of Austria's biggest players. Extremely talented. He has excellent defensive capabilities. Like I said, if he plays left back, he's the best left back in the world. But to have the captain Christian Fuchs playing behind him, again another great player.
Great season at Leicester City.
Yes, easily one of their best players. Proved very pivotal for them to win. He can bang crosses. He can score free kicks as well, and he's pretty solid defensively. He's very good creatively, and he's a big leader for Austria. Sorry, you can go back.
No, I was just talking about Alaba. You look at Marko Arnautovic, who had a very good season at Stoke. Did a very good job. He played on the wing. He could play as a striker because Mark Yankel was out. He's been a very capable striker for them. So if he doesn't play, I could see Arnautovic playing there, but I could see him play on the wing most likely. But he's a very talented player. He's a very big player. He's 6'4". He's got very good dribbling, and he's pretty quick for a guy who's 6'4". So, also in the midfield, Julian Baumgartlinger. I love his name, Baumgartlinger. It's like one of the best names ever. But the guy had a very good season at Mainz. had a team of the season performance at Mainz. There was incredible in the midfield. Also, Martin Harnik. A lot of these guys play in the Bundesliga. Actually, it's incredible how many of them play in the Bundesliga. Martin Harnik had a very good season as well. There, and
one of the better players for Stuttgart coming into relegation. I'm gonna correct you there.
Well, I was gonna say Stuttgart. I was gonna say he played for Stuttgart.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was gonna let you have Sabitzer, because I know you want to talk about him.
He's gonna be one of my players to watch, Sabitzer, and I'm gonna say he mentioned him, Baumgartlinger. He doesn't get the credit he deserves because he plays for a team like Mainz, who just moved to Leverkusen. I think he's gonna have an opportunity to show what he can do, and he's a very, very capable player. Very good defensively. He can break up plays. He's really big. He's bulky. He has great positioning, and he's going to be very pivotal for them. He's going to help anchor he's going to be the anchor for the team. My personal X factor for this Austria team, which may surprise many of you, Zlatko Junozovic. Very good player, very creative player. He's going to be playing as their cam. He's one of the best free takers in the Bundesliga, along with Alaba is really coming his own when it comes to free kicks. But Junozovic scored some really big free kicks for Werder Bremen. Easily one of their best players. I'd say he was a big part in why they did how they did, considering they didn't do as good as they should have. Easily one of the best players. And I think he's going to make some very big and crucial plays for Austria. Alaba, obviously the more talented player, easily one of the best players in the world. But I think coming into the Euros for this Austria team, Junozovic is going to be the biggest X factor for the team. The only thing that really troubles me for Austria is their goalkeeping situation. I don't know who they're going to be starting. Their main goalie is Robert Almer, but for Ignalchat, Ramazan. I'm not going to get this right. Özcan, very good goalie. Well, not a very good goalie, but he's a pretty respectable goalie, and I'd say he's one of Austria's best goalies coming to the tournament. And I feel that if he starts, I feel like they have a much better chance, and it's up to the goaltending situation. They have a pretty solid defense. Players that you really need to look at are Christian Fuchs, obviously. A player that I rate very well is... what's his face? Alexander Dragovic. He's actually linked to Dortmund, and he's most likely going to be starting for them. So let that alone state his value of how good of a player he is, especially defensively. I think their actual weakness is their right side.
Kevin Wimmer is a very good defenseman. Played for Tottenham this year, guys. Very good defenseman for Tottenham. Sebastian Prolo as well played for Watford. Had a very good year at Watford. So, not like I said, their starting 11 is very respectable. It's gonna come down to depth, which will hurt them in the long run. But I could see them doing. I could see them as obviously around the 16, possibly quarterfinals with a favorable matchup. As I've been saying most of the videos, favorable matchups do benefit in the end. One of the biggest surprise who made that qualify for the Euros, Iceland.
Topping the group.
Top the group. Incredible, to say the least. A team that not a lot of household names, but could really make waves in this Euro tournament. Guys like Gylfi Sigurdsson, who played for Swansea, who had an incredible season for Swansea. He did a really good job there as a cam. And guys like, Aaron Gunnarsson, who had a very good season as well, along with Alfred Finn Bogason. They have the longest names on this team. It's not even funny. Finn Bogason, who is a very, very good player for Augsburg, a very good striker this season. He did very well during qualifying. Again, not a lot of household names on this team, but they play as a collective unit, which Sebastian has, Seabass, either way, has mentioned that playing as a collective unit does benefit in this tournament. and that could really help them in this group. I don't. Again, this team is not going to win the Euro. Like that'd be really surprising if they did.
Oh, Iceland win the Euros. That's going to grab headlines like crazy.
Iceland win the.
One of the smallest nations in the world wins the Euros. Hey, if they somehow pull it off, hey.
No, I'll give it to them, man.
Although we're probably going to be making fun of Portugal because if they do win it, they're probably going to get top of their own group. So
yeah, yeah. No. Again, guys, a team that they play as a collective unit and could make it as a third place team in this group. Again, I can't see them really going farther in the round of 16 though. They could surprise, but I'd be really surprised if they did get past the round of 16. But you never know. It's a very small nation, first ever major tournament. It'd be pleasant to see them do well in this tournament, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know about them. It'd be a shock to say the least. And last team in this group. Probably the weakest nation in the entire tournament. It's Hungary. And we've been talking about, lack of star quality is evident on this team. I mean, there really isn't a player on this team that can really change the game.
I would say Zuciak is their star, but
I mean, he's not a bad player, Zuciak. He's a good player. Plays in the Russian league, but again, is he going to go out there and score a goal every game? No. The Hungary, they're going to sit back and they're going to counter, and they're going to try their best. But they don't have. They made it through again playing as a collective unit during the playoff. They advanced, and that helped them out a lot. But this team, I can't see them really making waves in this Euros. They're kind of like Albania. They're there. If they surprise, they surprise. But I don't see much from them in this group. I really don't.
But I'm not going to count them out because, like I said, they have a decent striker and Szalai. Hungary play a very counterattacking game.
Mm-hmm.
Szalai thrived in that when he played for Mainz. He had a very good season. That was 2 years ago, so it's less likely for him to replicate any kind of similar form. But they have a Duciak, I think, is a very good player. He's a guy who can get the crosses in. He's a very good free kick taker. He's going to definitely have to be their X factor for Hungary coming to this tournament. A player that I actually think is pretty decent. Not the biggest fan of him as he plays for Hamburg, but he does play well on occasion, and I think he could be a decent player. Zoltan Stieber, another player that I think is going to be very good, very young player, is Adam Nagy. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, and Lachio Kleinheisler. That's probably part German. I've just butchered that awfully. But they obviously they don't have the best team coming into this, but they have a very old keeper and Gabor Kiraly. He's 40 years old. He's probably not going to start, but they could surprise. I don't think they're going to surprise, but hey, that's usually the thing that's happened in these tournaments. Look at the World Cup. Look at Costa Rica. Costa Rica had easily, many would say, the worst team coming into the World Cup, and hey, look how well they did. So you never know. It's all about how well you play as a team, as if you can grind out games, and obviously work on your penalties.
Yeah. No. Last quick thing. Adam Lang on the defense is a very good defender. A very good defender. Plays in the Ukrainian league there. And did a very good job I think there's right back, very good right back there. Anyways, guys, the final predictions for the groups there. And again, this is Portugal's group to lose. I feel that Portugal is easily the favorites in this group. I'd be very surprised if they didn't finish first. Again, if they do finish lower than first, it'd be the defense that let them down. But Portugal in this group, they always do good in group play. They normally do. So I think Portugal will finish first. Again, I think Austria will finish second. Austria is a stronger team than Iceland and Hungary. And again, I don't think Hungary is really going to pose a threat. So I feel Iceland will finish third, and Hungary will finish last with losses. I don't think they will win. a game. I'd be surprised if they did. If they did, that's good for them. I don't think they will. So it's going to be Portugal, Austria, Iceland, and then Hungary to round off the group.
Yeah, I pretty much have the same predictions. Portugal's going to win. I think Austria's going to get fairly close. Iceland, that's the only thing we're different on. I think Iceland can manage a win against Hungary, and I think they have the ability to tie either or potentially both Portugal or Austria. I think if they grind it out and keep a clean sheet, or score from a set piece or something, just score that one goal to keep them in it, I think they can tie both Austria and Portugal. Mostly it's basically a team effort is what's going to earn them that. It's not obviously by the player ability, but hey, who knows, right? And then Hungary, they're going to be fourth place in the group. It's one of the more easier predictions to make. Hey, there could be a major upset. We don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to happen. We only have to wait and see, right?
No, I'd be really surprised. Anyways, because those are our Euro predictions. Like I said, it was a long, exhausting day. We did a lot of videos today. But we had a lot of fun doing them. And like I said, when I do videos, I want to start having fun. I don't want them to be a job. I don't want it to be a chore. I'd like to have fun doing them. So I had fun. I hope you had fun anyway. Doing the predictions.
No,
he's like, I this guy all day.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's the end of the videos, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed watching Euros. We'll enjoy watching Euros. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and peace.